Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Copperline Rattler Ranch. I'm Julia. As you can see, we've started this last full course of the cob repair on the north wall. We've got everything that we need to do above that bottle window that you can see behind me, and we're just getting ready to make this corner right here and start heading down the length of the wall. You can see that I had to double stack my scaffolds because it's going to soon be way too high for me to reach over just a single scaffold. Right now I'm having to kind of kneel on that platform, but when we get to the point on this west end here, I'll show you. Up here, where we're going to be making our angles to get our slope, I'll need a little extra height in order to make that angled slope. So we'll still do some regular partial framework within this wall, probably going a little bit past the halfway point for a little while, and then we'll probably just kind of stair step it down and then fill it in where we need to get our angle for the slope that we're going to have for the drainage for the flat roof. We only need 1/4 inch per 12 inches to get the rainwater to drain off of a flat roof. We're not doing with a pitched roof or anything or any overhang. So to get a proper drainage, even with our monsoonal rains, the quarter 12 is an ample tilt or ample angle to get that rainwater to go down where we want it to go. On most of the finish work, after we get the roof on, we'll be putting up like a facade around all the walls except for the west, which is where the rain will drain. We're going to have that set up so that we can get rainwater catchment on 2 corners and maybe even a third space in the middle, so we can catch that rainwater when it comes. So anyway, that's where we're at today. It's a little bit boring showing you. I showed you last time a framework of cob, and that's just really all we're doing. When we get to where we're going to mark our angle that we'll need, Dawn wants to put a string line up so that we can make sure that we maintain that angle so that when we get our bond beam put up, it's a little less shimming work to get it to where we need to. When we had just the bags on this wall, we had to do a lot of shimming. We put bricks in there, some stones in there to bring up so I didn't have to pack so much cob in there and to hold those bond beams up in place. So that's where we are today. So let's get cracking. I'll show you when we get done with what we're doing today. I don't think we're going to finish the whole thing today because it is a 40-foot wall, 40 feet long wall. And it takes a lot to mix what we need for each frame. It takes 45 minutes to an hour depending on how energetic we are. And it takes quite a few frames. Our frames are 40 inches long. It takes quite a few frames to get this done. So I'll let you see what we've done when we're done for today. So stay tuned. All right, everyone, here's how far we got yesterday from this corner all the way over to here. And this frame, you can see the frame, we only got about 1/3 of the way, 1/4 of the way full. Let me go up there and I'll show you. But we did all that yesterday. We do take, a long lunch break, and we take a number of breaks in between each frame. We'll take, a 15-20 minute break just to give ourselves a rest and get hydrated. And we have this little bit left to go, a tiny bit around that corner, and that whole last full course will be done, and we'll be ready to start on the partial courses that will give us our angle for our roof for proper drainage for our roof. So let me go up there and I'll show you how much of that frame we got done. All right, this is how much we've gotten done. The frame open end is here and the closed end is over there, so probably about 1/3 of the frame done, and it cures pretty quickly. It's already pretty solid. Our humidity yesterday was about 6%, so we're pretty freaking low. It's crazy. This is what we use to make our Lego holes. We do that when the mud is still quite wet. So we still have like this much more to go. That full course will be done. And then we're going to start those partial courses from over here and get our, of course, those will all be the same height that we need on this roof line. But coming this way, it's all going to be at that 1/4 12 angle for the rainwater to flow off onto the west side. And this over here is the west side. That's where it'll all drain off the roof. We will be setting up a gutter system as well as the rainwater catchment barrels there. We're going to include first flushes on the downspouts so that we can have some clean, sort of clean rainwater that we can use for animals, for our garden, for all those kind of wonderful things. We're not quite ready to use it for ourselves yet. We may eventually get to that point, but we'll just have to wait and see. This is from inside, so you can see we just have this little bit here to finish. Like I said, 2/3 that we need to fill all the way up here in this corner, and that'll be the last of the full courses, and then we start our partial courses in this corner right up in here. So I gotta find my finger, and we'll do our angle, our 1/4-12 angle, to get our flat roof drainage done. We're very excited to be finally at this stage. Don had to go into town to take care of some business. We were told, Don called again about our I-joists and plywood, and it's back ordered until probably the first week or two of June. So we got a week to 2 weeks to get it all done and ready to go. So that's okay. It buys us a little bit of time before we have all that stuff in place, and then we've got to get the roof on before monsoon. This is my first time growing radishes, and I purchased a rainbow radish mix. They sprout early, I should say they germinate early, they start growing early, they are a nice early harvest, and I think it's kind of, even though I'm not really a huge radish fan, it's kind of a nice encouraging thing to grow, because you get to harvest it early and you can see the fruits of your labor, there's this piece of whatever, happen. And these just look so lovely. You know, I bought, like I said, a rainbow mix, so it's not the nice little round ones, it's all these nice, oh, that one got too early. All these little oblong and unusual shapes. So we're going to probably put these in some salads and enjoy them. Thanks for watching, everyone. I believe that's going to be all for this week. We hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like the video, share it, and subscribe. Any questions or comments or concerns, please put them in the comment section down below this video. And we will see you next time. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye. There was one thing that I did want to note, that we do have one other social media platform that we use. That's a Facebook page under the same name, Copperline Rattler Ranch. We used to post a lot of little short story type things about what we were doing in the early beginnings of our project, and a few little short videos, lots of photographs, things of that nature. And now mostly what I use that page for is to let people know that we may or may not have a video coming out, or if a video is ready to go. So for example, when we missed a week or so this last time because we had family member issues and we had tons of wind, I didn't want to try to do a video because the wind just made it so horrible for any kind of sound, even just speaking. As you saw on some of them, the wind can be actually very terrible. So I put a little note on there if there's going to be a delay for a video. So if you're ever curious why we don't have a video out, check that Facebook page and you'll probably find a little note there that says something about why we may or may not have one out. That's a good place to find us, or a good place to go back and look at some of the things that we were doing way back in the early days, you know, even before we actually physically moved to the ranch. And we were still working full-time, living in Tucson, coming down here on weekends or every other weekend. We put the fence in, we had the well put in, we had the septic put in, lots of stuff done before we actually moved down here to start building the earth bag house. So check that out. If you have any comments, you can leave them there. If you have any comments about this video, leave them in the comment section below. I'm so excited. This is a little batch of radishes that I grew and just harvested just now. I still have a number of them in the garden bed, and I'll wait for them to poke their little heads up before I harvest them. They look great.